إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ثم أما بعد. We talked before about the important kitab or book that made by Abdul Rahman al-Kawakibi rahimahullah in 1902. And we said in this great book that named al-Qura is a name of Mecca. He imagined a conference and he called many shuyukh and ulama and imams and thinkers from the Muslim ummah, from Morocco all the way to India, from Europe all the way to Africa, and he gathered them in his mind. Some people said it's true, but actually, it was an idea, a dream that he invited us to share with him. And he, through the days, they went through the diseases of the ummah, the problems of the ummah, and the solutions. And the main solution that he came up with, that regardless the problems or the conflicts or the challenge problems of the ummah, we need to solve it in an organized work, teamwork. He said no one can work by himself to solve the problem of the ummah. And we said there's 3 circles of Islah, reforming: yourself, your family, and the ummah. And of course, everyone knows his own problems, his own conflicts and needs, and you have to fix it yourself. And then كلكم راع, as Rasulullah said, وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Everyone is responsible for the people around him. So your family is your responsibility, your wife, your children, and so on. But where we are lacking as Muslim, the larger circle, we don't think about the ummah, about the community. And if we think in an individual or with individual mentality. يعني كل واحد فينا يفكر في الحل بنفسه. And the problems of the ummah cannot be solved individually. It has to be through organized work. And this is the main message that he said 1902. It's almost 120 years that he made this call for the ummah. And subhanallah, when we study the history of the struggle of our ummah in the last 100 years, we'll see 3 groups, 3 important groups that came to existence either directly with the thoughts of Abdul Rahman al-Kawakibi or indirectly. Because the Ummah are thinking about the needs and how to solve the problems. One of them is Jama'at al-Ikhwan al-Muslimin, the Muslim Brotherhood in Misr, Egypt. It was established 1928. And the other one, Jama'at al-Islamiyya in India, established 1941 by a great Imam, Abu al-A'la al-Mawdudi rahimahullah. Abu al-A'la al-Mawdudi, he was rewarded يعني منح جائزة الملك فيصل من المملكة العربية السعودية. He was rewarded the reward of King Faisal rahimahullah for the Islamic work or activities or serving the Ummah, just to appreciate the work he did and to see what we see right now was not the truth. That 50 years ago or 100 years ago, things are changing for a purpose. Because all the kings and the people back then, they appreciated the work of this great ulama. And the third one, Jama'at Tabligh wa Da'wah by Muhammad Ilyas al-Dahlawi from Delhi, from India. It was established 1926. So we have three major groups that took the ideas into mechanisms. And this is a great act they did. The ideas, how to solve the problems of the Ummah through organized work, they came up with mechanisms to solve the needs of the Ummah. And of course, there is another group, but they don't have this organized structure like the other three groups I mentioned, which is the Salafi stream, At-Tayar al-Salafi. Subhanallah, every group, whatever Ikhwan Muslimin or Jama'ah Islamiyya or Tabligh and Da'wah, they made mistakes because they are not human. And through the work, and even subhanAllah, in any act of work we do, whatever business or any activity we do, because we are human, وَالْعِصْمَةُ لِلْأَنْبِيَاءِ فَقَط, يعني the full protection from mistakes only for prophets by the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they make mistakes, ulama start to not to destroy them, not to shut down them, but they start to rectify them. And this is why you will hear a lot of great shuyukh, يعني Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah, Ibn Uthaymin, Sheikh Albani, all these great mashayikh, that their focus was to revive the knowledge and the scientific movement of the people of the Ummah. We have people start to do the work, and through their work, they make mistakes. And the ulama, the smart ulama, they didn't say, you know what, this is wrong, we should not do it. And this is why, subhanAllah, when you see many people right now, they criticize any jama'ah, any institution, any organization, as if, I call it وَأْدُ البنات. عرب, كان العرب في الماضي يأيدوا البنات ونحن الآن نأيد المؤسسات. Arab, they used to kill the daughters when they, if any female baby, they will kill her. Now we are, by our own hands, we are, some of us, and I'm not saying everyone, trying to kill and destroy and shut down the organization that were established almost 100 years ago to fulfill the needs of the Ummah. We can see the groups that I mentioned, the Salafi group, mainly they focus on ilm and knowledge. And many of you who are sharing my age, we have a lot of weak hadith that's ضعيف, even fabricated موضوع, and we don't pay attention to them. We used to say them and listen to them, but with the blessing of ulama, mainly the Salafi ulama, Sheikh Albani, bin Baz, Ibn Uthaymin, now average Muslim, when you tell him a hadith, said, is this hadith authentic? Is this hadith sahih or not? Can we implement this hadith or not? And this is a great achievement. Al-Ummah tata'allam, the whole Ummah has more knowledge now about when someone tells you something, they need to understand if this hadith is authentic or not, and they try to understand this hadith what it means, and so on. In the same time, the Jama'ah of Tabligh, and again, I'm not saying all these Jama'at are angels. They make mistakes. And some of them even make bid'ah. But through 100 years, there's a lot of rectifying and correction that happened, especially with Jama'at Tabligh. Jama'at Tabligh, first time they came, and we didn't know them in Arab countries, because mainly they came from India. And don't undermine these people, mashallah. They have a lot of ikhlas and sincerity for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For them to say, I will leave my work for 3 days or 40 days and I will travel. And they didn't ask people money. They just do da'wah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, they have some books that have a lot of da'if or weak ahadith. And maybe they make mistakes. But by interaction with the Salafi and Ikhwan and Jama'ah Islamiyya, they learn. And they have influence in the Ummah. To the limit, and I don't know if you know that or not, every year they have a conference and meeting in Bangladesh. You know how many people attend this meeting? Of course, before Corona and after Corona. 4 million people from all over the world. And they are organized. And they go and knock on doors to call people, come to the masjid. And what they take, nothing. So what we should do as an ummah, if we see mistakes, we fix it. But we don't shut it down. We don't kill it. You know? Same with Ikhwan Muslimin or Jama'ah Islamiyya. Both of them are the same. One is the Arabic version and the other one the Indian version. But they almost think the same. They do the same work. They have structure and organized work. And subhanallah, both of them, so Tabligh Salafi, fulfill the ilm, the knowledge, for Islamic knowledge for the ummah. Tablighi mainly focus on bringing people back to the masjid, connecting people to the masjid, and da'wah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The importance of da'wah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only for the elite, not only for university, you know, for average people. Everyone has to call for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with minimum knowledge that you have, but through continuous learning and so on. And then we have, as I said, Muslim Brotherhood and Jama'ah Islamiyya. What they did, I will say they serve Muslims all over the world in 4 fields. Number 1, through teaching the Islamic knowledge in the masjid and Islamic schools, Quran, maintaining the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, health. There's a lot of private hospitals in the Muslim world that's established by them to serve the needs of the ummah, especially in the poor countries that you name all the Muslim countries, without the support of doctors. And they make they go to Afghanistan and they go like a caravan, some doctors in certain field, and they go 20 doctors, 30 doctors to a village or a city, and they heal and cure a lot of poor Muslims who need help. And also social support. This is the 3rd field. They made or contributed to a lot of social need. I just see, we have here, I don't know them, but this is Hand for Charity. And what they do, food basket, clothes package, winter package for our Syrian brothers and refugees in the camps. Who's doing this? And for what? Because some government failed us. This should be by the Muslim governments to support our Muslim brother everywhere on earth. But because they don't do it, we as an ummah, we as people, sha'b, and nas, we came up with organized work to serve the need of the ummah. And this is where we need to continue this work, organized work. So when some people now criticize all these groups without finding solutions, if you don't like certain groups, by all means, make a new one. Either you work with the existing one and fix their mistakes, or come up with new ideas. We have a lot of challenges, whatever in the Muslim world or Europe, Canada, and North America. There is a lot of problems that need to be solved. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد. The reason I'm saying this because there is a lot of attack on different groups, different organizations, whatever in Canada or North America, in Europe, in the Muslim world. And this organization came by us, by our fathers and grandfathers, to serve us and to serve the new generations. And we have to maintain them and we have to protect them. And as I said, if we have a need or a challenge, let's work together with the same mentality, teamwork, العمل الجماعي. And I'll give you today 2 examples of needs that we need to fix together. Number 1 is to protect our shuyukh and scholars and ulama and thinkers, mainly those who serve in Islam and serve in Quran and Hadith and Fiqh and so on. We all know the difficult situations that the Muslim Ummah are facing. So the shuyukh cannot focus on ilm. They have to do more than one job. Sometimes great shuyukh, but I know some fiqh, shuyukh in fiqh, mashallah, but they are very poor. And what they do, they teach children Quran. I'm not saying it's not important, but we can get some of their students to teach kids Quran. And this sheikh will come and we free his time to come up with solutions for a lot of financial issues that we are facing in our modern time, and we don't have a solution for them. We don't know how to deal with different financial issues. Mortgage, leasing, financing your car, there's a credit card, lots of issues that our shuyukh need to really sit and think about them. So all I'm saying is, take any sheikh anywhere in the world, and sponsor him. By yourself, a group of friends, $100 can make big difference. I know if you have $500 for anyone in any Muslim countries, he will live, in a good condition, and he will be able to focus on ilm, spreading the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this should be our duty. If you are from Syria, sponsor some shuyukh from Syria to teach people. During the Soviet rule of lots of Muslim countries, because they were attacking the religion, they have lots of stories about sheikh who will go to a village. And of course, if they know that he's teaching Islam, they will arrest him. The authority will arrest him. So he'll go to your house and he will hide. He will live either in the basement or in the attic. And the children of the village will go and visit this sheikh every day. Every day they will come. And the sheikh will not leave the house for 2 years, 3 years, until he finish his job by teaching the children Quran. And then he will go and move to another village. And this is how many Muslims maintain their religion in former Soviet Union. So again, maybe a small work these people did, but maintain the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Protect the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can do this in an individual organized work with some friends. You can sponsor a sheikh, $100, $200, whatever, and you do it. I don't want you to go to any organization or you transfer the money. Just make it simple. A family can sponsor a sheikh in a village that he teach the Quran and so on. So this is number 1. And I'm calling everyone, even $10 a month, make it out of your salary. Call it waqf al-ilm. This waqf, endowment for ilm, Islamic knowledge. If you are in Afghanistan, how many people in the masjid from Afghanistan, mashallah, we have a great Afghani community here, and how many needs they have in Afghanistan. $10, you will not feel it. And how many great shuyukh in Afghanistan that can maintain and will maintain the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But they don't have to, we free their time to focus on serving the deen. The second task, which we all face in Canada these days, Islamic schools. we always complain, especially the last few years, about Islamic schools, because we see on the public school there's a lot of pressure on not only on Muslims but many children with something that goes against our fitrah, against human nature, and we are complaining all the time. We complain. And sometimes the solution is so easy. In Canada, as I said last 2 weeks ago, we have at minimum 1 million Muslims in Canada. In average, 200 at least or more families, 200,000 families in Canada, at least. If every Muslim family, again, from their salary, $50 a month, and we call this waqf for Islamic schools, will be able to raise every month $10 million. Very simple solution. $50, you will not feel it, right? But we will be able to raise organized work, teamwork, amal jama'i, collectively together, we'll be able to raise $10 million every month. We buy school and we buy businesses to support the school. So this way, we don't make Islamic school for the rich people, because at least Islamic school now, at least $800 up to $1,000 a month. Not everyone can pay this amount every single month. Maybe for one, what about 2, 3, 4 kids? So we need, and again, this is not a new idea. All the awqaf or endowment that our grandfather did, they go and build a school. And actually they build a small masjid and a school beside it. And actually sometimes the masjid is a school. And actually they make 4 mihrab for every madhab. So the masjid have what we call Iwan. Iwan, like one side of the masjid. So the Maliki madhab or the Hanafi madhab, the Maliki madhab, the Shafi'i madhab, and the Hanbali madhab, they teach the 4 schools of fiqh in this school. And then beside the school or the masjid, lots of businesses, mainly real estate. And all the rent will go to support the shuyukh who are teaching, and the students who coming all the way from India to Morocco or from Spain to Misr. They sit there for years paying nothing, like a scholarship. This is a system that our grandfather established through organized work. So a major problem that we face in Canada with schools, let's build our own schools. In the same time, we need another team to work with the government to convince them to support Islamic school the same way they support Catholic schools. And we know also in different provinces in Canada, they pay, the company, the government will, like in Alberta, they support religious schools. So we need a legal team, lawyers, young people, Muslim, Canadian, to work on this to solve the problems of the Ummah. And we need also to get more teachers in the education system. Encourage your children. And anyone that's why you don't go and become a teacher, because we will need teachers, we'll need administration and so on. So we need not only to build the school and not to have the money for the school, but we have a legal team to make it more easy for Muslim community. And in the same time, you need teachers and staff and all of this. So we need people to think this way. This is the whole idea. I'm not saying, we're just reading a book 100 years ago and we talk about groups. No, you form a group. I know some people said, I need a solution now because my kids now in public school, I need to fix. I'm sorry, we don't have a solution now. But the kids that you are going to help could be your grandchildren. We don't have a solution now, but if we start now, we have a solution 10 years from now. And this will serve, number one, your own grandchildren. Even if you don't have any kids, why you think only me? Think about the Ummah. Think about Muslim kids, because they are related to you. We all, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. We have this, وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا. Be the slaves of Allah, brothers. We became scared to say we are ikhwan. You know, no, we are brothers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this title, and we are proud to be ikhwan, to be brothers for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to think this way. Think for yourself, for your family, but give some time, give some effort, give some money to the ummah. And again, yes, we can lead the project, but I want you to lead the project. I have enough on my shoulder. Maybe I'm lazy now, but we need new people to work. And I will follow you. I will support you to work in a great project like this and make focus on this solution. But if we just sit and complain and complain and complain every time in the last year, I will say few years, every time we have a discussion group and we think about something, Islamic schools. You know, homeschooling is not a permanent solution. Public schools, not for everyone. You know, you need the parent to pay attention for every lesson, every piece of paper, because they inject a lot of bad ideas into even math or science, project or something, or assignment. So you need to be with your kids all the time. Or homeschooling, you have to teach them, and not all the families can do this. So we have to find a permanent solution. And the solution, as Abdul Rahman kawakibi said, rahmahullah, to work together. Have the idea, make the mechanism, and take it and implement it. But we achieve a lot of our goals by dreaming. We dream, but we need to wake up and move and make our dreams a fact and reality. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to wake us up and to make us among the generation who are going to change the history for the Muslim Ummah. The time is, everyone, and I said many times, I'm advising myself too, we wait for this great Mahdi or Salah ad-Din or Qutuz or, you name it, to change our conditions, for us to follow him. Wallahi, we don't need leaders anymore. Islam is the leader. The idea, the system is the leader. But we have to work together. We have to focus together and come up with a solution. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم ردنا والمسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. اللهم استخدمنا ولا تستبدلنا وعلى طاعتك أعنا ومن شرور أنفسنا ومن شرور خلقك سلمنا. اللهم اجعلنا من الصالحين واجعلنا من المصلحين. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا وعلمنا وعلم بنا وأصلحنا وأصلح بنا واهدنا واهد بنا يا رب العالمين. ربنا اغفر لآبائنا وأمهاتنا إلى أبينا آدم وأمنا حواء واهد ذرياتنا إلى يوم الدين. انصر الإسلام والمسلمين في كل زمان وفي كل مكان. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.